The idea of Aaron Rodgers potentially joining the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as other high-profile players switching teams, stirs a lot of debate among NFL fans. As an American football fan, this speculation taps into some long-standing narratives about quarterback dynamics, team rebuilding, and the delicate balance of veteran experience versus emerging talent. Starting with Aaron Rodgers, the thought of a 41-year-old QB joining the Steelers raises significant questions about the future of that franchise. Rodgers is still one of the most talented quarterbacks, but his recent seasons have been plagued by injuries and inconsistencies, not to mention his controversial off-field persona. This makes him a divisive figure among fans and analysts alike. On one hand, his ability to throw deep and execute complex plays remains world-class, something any team would love to have, especially Pittsburgh. On the other hand, at his age, Rodgers carries more risk. The Steelers would need to decide whether investing in a veteran with diminishing physical resilience is worth the gamble, especially considering the growing pool of young, dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL. Russell Wilson, another player tied to the Steelers' rumors, is also an intriguing prospect. While Wilson has had an up-and-down tenure in recent years, many believe he still has elite talent. His connection to Pittsburgh from his previous stint has made him a natural candidate for re-signing. The Steelers know what they are getting with Wilson, a mobile, dual-threat quarterback capable of extending plays and making things happen even when his offensive line collapses. This makes him an attractive option for Pittsburgh, especially if they feel the team is just a solid quarterback away from being playoff contenders. On the flip side, Justin Fields represents a younger, more developmental prospect. Though Fields didn't get the full season he wanted with Pittsburgh, he showed flashes of brilliance. He brings a skill set that's becoming increasingly valuable in the NFL: mobility, athleticism, and the ability to turn broken plays into positive yards. Fields wants to be the man, and if the Steelers don't want to commit to giving him the keys to the franchise, other teams like the Jets may swoop in. The New York Jets are also looking for a quarterback who can bring excitement and a fresh start after years of mediocrity, and Fields fits that mold. His youth and upside make him a hot commodity on the free agent market, but he'll need to prove that he can lead a team for an entire season, which is something the Steelers, Jets, or any suitor must weigh. Moving beyond quarterbacks, other player movements like Myles Garrett to the Cowboys are tantalizing. The Cowboys have long been seen as a sleeping giant, America's team, but they haven't lived up to that name in decades. Adding Garrett to an already solid defense that includes Micah Parsons could finally push them over the hump. The idea of Garrett and Parsons terrorizing opposing quarterbacks together is a dream scenario for Cowboys fans. Garrett, who has expressed interest in leaving Cleveland, brings with him Defensive Player of the Year credentials and a relentless motor. His presence on the Cowboys' defensive line could elevate that unit to elite status, but it will require the Cowboys to make some financial maneuvers and commit significant resources to make that trade happen. Similarly, the possibility of star wide receivers like Davante Adams and T. Higgins switching teams also shifts the power dynamics in the league. Adams, coming off a stint with Aaron Rodgers in New York, could find himself on the West Coast. Teams like the Los Angeles Chargers or San Francisco 49ers would salivate at the chance to add a weapon of his caliber. Adams is a game changer, and any team looking to bolster its offense, particularly with a young quarterback, would benefit from his elite route running and ability to create separation. Meanwhile, T. Higgins going to Washington is another intriguing possibility. The Washington Commanders have been a team in transition, but adding a dynamic receiver like Higgins to pair with Terry McLaurin would give them one of the most dangerous duos in the league. Higgins has played the 1B role in Cincinnati behind Ja'Marr Chase, but in Washington, he could step up as a true number 1 receiver. This could not only help the Commanders' young quarterback, but it could also help Washington become more competitive in a crowded NFC East. Lastly, Cooper Kupp's situation in Los Angeles is one that mirrors many of the league's top players. At this stage in his career, Kupp is still productive, but the Rams are in cap trouble. Cutting or trading Kupp would allow the team to save millions in salary cap space, but it also means parting with one of the most reliable receivers in the league. His quarterback-friendly style has made him a go-to target, and he would undoubtedly find a market for his services if the Rams decide to move on. Kupp's departure could signal a shift for the Rams as they look to retool and rebuild, but for the right team, Kupp could be the missing piece to a Super Bowl puzzle. In conclusion, this offseason will be one of the most fascinating in recent memory. With big names like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Myles Garrett, Davante Adams, and others potentially changing teams, the balance of power in the NFL could shift dramatically. Teams must weigh the benefits of veteran leadership against the promise of youth and development. And for fans, the offseason becomes its own thrilling season of speculation, excitement, and possibility.